This is Bruce Buffer, and this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for the MMA-Holes!
No way.
From the Sonosi 1K Studios of Arizona, UFC TWERK God Jordan Leavitt interview. Pre-Paddy Pimblett fight. Diaz versus Paul. It's getting heated up. Tsarukyan versus Gamrot Fight Week, Bellator, PFL Fight Week, MMA news with the MMA-Holes.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Welcome to the show, friends. It's good to be here. It's good to be wonderful, wonderful. How you doing tonight? We're going to bring you the carnage here on a Wednesday night. Tsarukyan versus Gamrot. Saturday, we're going to be reacting to that entire card. We'll talk about some predictions, and we'll look at that card. It's a very nice one, as the UFC has been just slaying it with their events. They've been doing a wonderful, wonderful job with that.
Wonderful, wonderful.
There we go. Gotta get centered up in this thing. We have Jordan Leavitt's going to be on the show in a half hour. He'll be on the show with us talking about his upcoming fight with Paddy Pimblett. UFC London going down. Paddy Pimblett versus Jordan Leavitt. That is the people's fight. A lot of things going on that event. I'll show you guys over here. But the big boys are going to throw down, and we got Jordan coming on. Jordan Leavitt, the underdog in the fight. It doesn't say what under he is right here, but he is the under in this thing. You look at the stats, almost identical with their stats, but it's a fantastic matchup over here. Jordan has an opportunity to stop the hype train of Paddy Pimblett. It is on a card of Blades and Aspinall. This card is absolute fire. And Till Hermanson are fighting. Like I said, Blades and Aspinall. Bunch of names on here. Krylov versus Gustafsson going down. Paul Craig, Volkan Ozdemir. I mean, Jesus. But yeah, this card is just smoking hot. It's coming right around the corner, July 23rd. And we'll see what Jordan says about that big fight against Paddy Pimblett. The Tsarukyan versus Gamrot fight card happening Saturday. You know, some people out there are just not familiar with these guys. We threw a poll out on the community section, and there were some people that were just like,
who the fuck is that guy?
A lot of people. I mean, there are some casuals that are not familiar with the two, but trust me, on Saturday night, you're gonna know who both of these guys are. That's a complete banger of a main event. It is interesting, though, that the UFC did put those two together, because it does feel like if you are a casual fan, you're just going to be like, who? Who are these guys? I'm going to go over to the poll over here on the MMA-Holes channel. It's going to be a good matchup. I'm in Liverpool supporters, so can't pick Jordan. I'm sorry, it's all good, Smoky Feeble. Listen, Paddy Pimblett, that place is going to be rocking for Paddy, so I'm curious to see how Jordan's preparing for a fight like that. But here's a Tsarukyan versus Gamrot, a poll over here, and 69% are going with Tsarukyan for the win. Someone made a funny comment about it sounding like, well, here, let me just read the comment. Where is it? I've seen less nonsensical names at Lord of the Rings live action role-playing convention, so look at that.
Wonderful.
It does sound like Lord of the Rings names. Tsarukyans, the House of Tsarukyan versus Gamrot. the dragon. I don't know. But yeah, it does sound like very like Game of Thrones-esque names. But regardless, really good scrap between the two. 18-2-0 versus 21-0. Look at all these wins in a row for Tsarukyan. Arman, who's on a finishing streak over here. Joel Alvarez. Before that, Christos Giagos. And then Matt Frivola was a decision. I actually spoke to Matt. Well, gave him shot him a little DM today because I was curious what he thought of Jordan Leavitt versus Paddy Pimblett. He said he wants Paddy to win because he wants to fight. He wants to stop the Paddy train. So Matt Frivola wants to stop that train, but said some very complimentary things to Jordan Leavitt. So, you know, realistic to the fact that Jordan's a problem at 155. Really good matchup. But anyway, going back to Tsarukyan, I mean, these 155ers, it is so crazy. Ever since Khabib left, it's been super stacked up. You got young talent coming up the rankings. You got the OGs coming just like in a traffic jam at the top. You got the belts basically up for grabs because of the missing of the weight from Charles Oliveira. It's a massive fight here, Tsarukyan and Gamrot. Now, if Gamrot gets the win, he's a plus 210 underdog in this fight. If he gets the win, put some respect on his name, and he's no scrub here. He's only got one loss. That's it. From Poland, you're scrolling down, and look, he beat Ferreira, he beat Jeremy Stevens.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Scott Holtzman, and the last loss was to Guram Cataladez. I could never say this guy's name, but we saw what this guy could do. This guy was a beast as well. He just fought recently, and on Saturday night, the guy's a freaking animal. So, I mean, if you're going to lose, that's not a bad guy to lose to. And it was a decision, right? Hold on, let me just double check on that. Yeah, it was a split decision, so a close fight. So Gamrot comes into the UFC, gets his first loss, and then rattles off 3 in a row. So a very interesting scrap on Saturday night. Let's see what's going on in this chat room over here. It's good to see you in the chat. Let's say hello to our friends here. What's doing on a Wednesday night? Isn't Gamrot the bad guy from Zelda?
Thank you.
John Jarrell has been a member for... Doesn't say how many months. You must have just re-upped, but thank you very much, John. Appreciate that. You're an orange belt in the chat. I appreciate that very much. So, John Jarrell. Jeremy Stevens looked really bad on Friday. Yeah, Jeremy Stevens' best days are way behind him. It's wild how he's just nosedived. Conor put UFC on another level of stardom. I got the PFL press. Oh, there we go. Look at that, the glove touch. They have a dinner for media members tomorrow night. Motherfucker, what? Yeah, baby. I tell you what, it feels good, man. It feels good. That you guys are going to the PFL. We got Kendall going to Bare Knuckle, getting media passes. It's good stuff, man. I tell you, man, if you want to represent the Holes and go to one of these events or some shit like that, hit us up, man. We'll get you guys some press passes. These companies outside of the UFC, it's super simple. So that's cool. I can't wait to see what you guys come back with. Jordan is preparing for his fight by playing Elden Ring to perfect his teabag techniques. Yeah. We'll see. I'm curious if he's playing any video games in the lead up to this thing. Jordan should walk in playing Rock Lobster disrespecting Jemima. Yeah, what would be a perfect walkout song for Jordan Leavitt? I'm sure he's got something up his sleeve. Don't let glove touch anywhere near the schmo. I wonder if the schmo is going to be at PFL. I don't know. I got to be honest with you. So this is just, listen, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think we're going to be doing Bellator on Friday. I think Bellator is the event that we're going to pay attention. I mean, Gegard's coming back. I feel like that's where we're going to lean towards. Maybe I'll have multiple events on at the same time. But we'll get the results, that's for sure. Just started playing Shadows of Mordor. I got the 2 games for free. I know they're old, but they feel really good already. There you go. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Dana White getting dumped on a lot. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. The Jake Paul situation with Nate Diaz. It is kind of ridiculous, that situation. And when I finish the stream, by the way, one's in the chat if you were around for the stream. Is Bellator on Saturday? I thought it was on Friday. Is it on Saturday? Oh, then if that's the case, then we might actually have a long stream on Saturday. Hell, let me double check. I thought it was Friday. Cage Warriors is Saturday. PFL's Friday. No, Bellator's on Friday. Yeah, Bellator's going up against it. Yeah, I mean, you got Gegard Mousasi versus John Eblen, 6 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. And that's going against, PFL, same time. Capoloza versus Scheffel. So, listen, PFL does a good event, but...
Wonderful, wonderful.
I'm going to have my eyeballs on Bellator, to be honest. Clayton.
I got a question about Guru. I thought the beef was over, but apparently not. How did the whole beef with you guys start? I know you posted a pic of him without his beanie on and he wasn't happy, but how did it all start? Why did you post it to begin with?
So here's the thing. It's just a picture of him with his hat. Wasn't a crazy beef. I mean, he just got all offended by it. It's just a picture of his hat. It's like someone putting a picture up of me with a hat on. Like, it makes no fucking sense. So if he wants to be a baby about it, then so be it. So be it. It's all good, man. Listen, there's levels to this game. We got Jordan Leavitt coming on in a couple of minutes. I mean, there's apples and oranges. There's A tier and then there's like D tier. Okay, Guru might be hitting an algorithm or whatever with his weekly shows. Listen, it's not even. This is the A side over here. We did him a favor by putting his fucking picture up. Now we're done. We move on. Next victim. Thank you, Clayton, for the donation. Appreciate that. You're wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
But yeah, like I said before, I think we're probably going to pay more attention to the Bellator side of things. Let's talk about, though, the situation with Nate and Jake Paul. Like, I kind of wanted to just do that stream and then move on. It was a what-if scenario. Who would win? Blah, blah, blah. And then we just wrap it up and move on, right? That's all I wanted to do on the Tuesday stream. And then as soon as I go off, I'm looking online. I'm just scrolling through. And I noticed that Dana White was interviewed. I think it was by the Mac Life. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the comment, the quote from Dana White, like, legit threw me off. And let me pull this thing up. Dana White. Like, it threw me for a loop. When Dana White was asked about the potential fight of Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul, I'm going to read the exact quote. Where is it? Jesus Christ, MMA Junkie, what are we doing here? This is like ads on top of ad. Like, what is going on? Like, you can't even find the article. Oh, here. I'm happy to be Nate's last fight. Oh, this is Jake Paul. Okay, I'll move on. Dana White commented on Diaz's recent Twitter post asking, promotion, blah, blah, blah. The UFC president said, he said the fight makes sense. That's it. That's all he said. Anyway, he says it makes sense. So when he was asked the question of Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul, just like the title, it makes sense. Now, when I heard that, I was like, whoa. Doesn't he have a fight left on his contract with the UFC? Dana White's saying, like, he's usually anti-Jake Paul, the whole deal. And then he's saying it makes sense. So is he going to use that last fight of Nate's contract and try to work with Jake on getting something in the UFC? Is he going to let him go to fight in boxing or maybe do a co-promote thing like he did with Conor and Floyd? And I'm like scratching my head like, wait, hold on a sec. What the fuck's going on here? This is what I think. I think Nate Diaz is dicking around the UFC. I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is probably going to be a take that everyone else is going to be like, oh, fuck you. The UFC's fucking Nate. They're holding him back, this and that. This is the odd situation when Dustin Poirier goes out there, and Dustin doesn't seem like the type of guy to lie. He seems like a straightforward guy, unless it's about charity. He lies about that. But other than that, Dustin seems like a straightforward guy. And why would he lie about him getting the contract and Nate holding everything up? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would he lie unless he's just trying to cover up and save face? I don't know. I'm thinking that the UFC probably threw things at Nate. Now, one of them could have been the HELWANI fight, which I could understand why Nate would turn that down. But then Nate backpedals and is like, give me the HELWANI fight. Like he's saying, I want to fight this person. I want to fight that person. But is he signing the contracts? And by looking at this quote from Dana White makes sense. What I'm thinking is Dana's had enough. He's like, listen, you got one more fight in this contract. You're turning down shit left and right. You want to dick us around? I'm going to dick you around. Go ahead. Go fight Jake Paul. But it has to be under my fucking roof. Like maybe that's what Dana's saying to Nate. I don't know. It's weird. The whole scenario is odd. Like I don't think Nate's in any rush. Like I think he wants to fight. He wants to make money. But he made so much money in the past with his red panty nights and whatever the fuck, the Masvidal BMF belt and all that stuff, that he has like a little nest egg that he's sitting on that it's not killing him not to fight. So I think Nate's kind of dicking him around. I really do here. Now, do I want to see Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul? I mean, as a fan, I'll watch anyone fight. I like watching people beat each other up. I'm into it. If it's a circus fight, got a lot of hype, got the casuals jumping in, sure, I'm on board. I'm down. Where can I sign up for the craziness? I'm cool with it. But do I need it? No, I don't. I don't need Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul in any way. I think it's a complete waste of time, to be honest, because let's be serious. I said it on my other stream. Jake Paul in boxing is going to beat Nate up. Do I need that as an MMA fan? No, I don't. I don't need it. He's a bigger, stronger son of a... Nate's got to fill his body to the fucking max to even just hit remotely close to the weight so he could fight Jake. Jake's to be cutting weight, coming in 200 plus pounds on the dude. And it's just boxing. It's limited. It's not like Nate could go on the ground and fucking squirm from the bottom, catch a beating, and throw up a triangle on him or some shit. It's just wild. Now, if Nate wants a big payday, all respect, go get the payday, right? Go for it. I'm not saying Nate don't take that fight. Guy, take the fight. Make the money. If Dana lets you go, or if they fight under the UFC or whatever and you get a big bag from it, more power to you. But as a fan, do I need it? The answer is absolutely not. I don't. So what I'm thinking in this situation here is Dana's had enough. He's like, listen, I don't know what to do with this guy. I want him to fight. I would like him to fucking pull in the pay-per-views because Nate is a pay-per-view draw. But you haven't won. Like you haven't, like there's not much leverage. You're acting like you're the God's gift to fighting. And if you look at Nate Diaz over here, we're not talking Conor McGregor. We're not talking Nate Diaz walks down the block and there's fucking mobs of people chasing him. Now, people, of course, got to stop him for pictures. If Conor McGregor walks down the fucking block, the fucking world stops. You need to block off streets. It's crazy. The guy's like a fucking superstar. So the fact that he hasn't won, well, he's a fucking bizarre celebrity. But when it comes to Nate Diaz here, that's not the case. Nate Diaz is 20-13-0. He had a fucking fun fight with Leon Edwards, and he had that slap where he almost came back and got the dub. But he didn't win. He beat Showtime Pettis in 2019. He won one fight since 2016, the first fight he beat Conor in March. UFC 196. I mean, what leverage do you have at this point? Now, the UFC would be doing him dirty if they just fucking send him a contract against Khamzat Chimaev. So I understand if Nate turned that down, I get it. But why is he turning down Poirier? And why is he even fighting Poirier? Why would they even throw Poirier at him when you look at what's going on here, right? Well, because he brings pay-per-view eyes. Okay. So why is it not happening? Why is Dustin Poirier saying, he didn't sign the contract? Who's lying? Let me know in the chat what you guys think as we have a interesting situation. I got to be honest with you. I think Jake Paul and Nate Diaz are going to fight. I think it's inevitable. I think it will happen.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Here comes Clayton.
Dana has just had enough of Nate. He's very difficult to deal with. And the UFC is sick of dealing with him. He keeps turning down fights. Dana knows he isn't going to resign. So Dana just doesn't care what he does. UFC will be happy not to deal with him.
I agree. Listen, do I want to see Nate fight in the UFC? Of course. I love watching the guy. The guy could lose 10 times in a row, and I'm still down for a Nate Diaz fight. Nothing against Nate Diaz. But I'm just trying to process the information. If the boss is saying, hey, it sounds like a good idea to fight Jake Paul, you have one fight left in your contract, you start scratching your head like, wait, what's going on here? Let me know in the chat what you think. And hey, Clayton, thank you very much for the back-to-back donos.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Appreciate that. It would help Nate if he could learn to communicate with words instead of grimaces and sign language. Hey, what's up, Niall? How you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. Sons of Anarchy had Stockton in it. Let's see. Hey, they probably did. That kind of makes sense. Snake will gas, and Nate will drown him. Snake will gas, and Nate will drown him. What is that? What? Who's Snake? Why am I missing? Who is Jake? You trying to say? Hopefully, I think Nate versus Holland should happen. That'd be great. That'd be great. Like, if you threw novelty fights together for Nate, I'm down, man. Listen, Nate versus Tony Ferguson. You can make that happen. Why not? Why can't you make that shit happen? You know, Nate Conor 3 is always there, but, you know, does Nate really want to wait? I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. But here's the weird part. Like, if you're a Nate Diaz fan, help me out here, Nate Diaz fans. Because this is the thing that kind of throws me off a little bit. This is un-Nate Diaz-like. This over here. He's showing the thing that started this whole thing. UFC release now, please, or give me fight with anyone in July or August. I have bigger shit to do. Now, that's put together like Nate Diaz. There's no doubt. That's a Nate Diaz tweet right there. But he says, I have bigger shit to do, and he has Jake Paul knocking out Tyron Woodley. My man, Nate, were you begging? Like, are you begging Jake Paul? Like, you're stooping down to the level where you're begging Jake Paul for a red panty night? It looks fucking... It's ridiculous. I don't know. Like, I mean, if I was a super hardcore Nate Diaz fan, I'd be like, oh, man, bro, what are you doing here? What are you doing? Bigger shit to do. Now, I'm assuming his bigger shit is he wants to go in there and knock out Jake Paul and get a big bag of money. I'm assuming. But to me, it looks like he's begging Jake to knock him out. It's weird, man. It's a weird situation over here. Now, if the UFC is holding Nate Diaz hostage, I don't know the full story. I'm just making assumptions here. If they are holding Nate hostage, I mean, there's got to be a better way to go about this. Not look desperate and beg a fucking Disney character. Like, what are you doing? You're begging Jake Paul for a fight? That's not bad. That's not Stockton. That's weird, man. It's like, I mean, you want to fight Conor for a red panty night. He took everything I worked for. That was like one of the most fucking gangster call-outs ever. When Nate Diaz looked into the camera and says, "You taking everything I work for, motherfucker. You know, I want your fucking ass." Like, that was the most gangster shit ever that Nate Diaz has done. Most gangster shit ever. And now fast forward to 2022. He's begging a Disney star to knock him out. It's weird, man. It's weird. But I guess money talks, right? I guess. I don't know. Maybe not a popular take here. So let me know in the chat what you think. I've always wanted to beat the shit out of a Disney character. Well, he's not really making that known in the tweet. It looks like he wants to get his ass whooped. He's not. Fuck Jake and his ego. Listen, I would love to see Nate go out there and beat the living shit out of Jake Paul. That would be amazing. That's not going to happen, though. It's not. Jake is way too big. And he actually boxes. Like, he straight up boxes. Nate's, what is he going to be, slapping him with boxing gloves? Do I think Leavitt could beat Diaz? Yes. Jordan Leavitt beats everybody. He beats them all. And he TWERK right on Diaz's corpse. It's all about the money. Yeah, I basically. So Nate completely sold out for the money. It's kind of a bummer, man. Like, he wanted the money against Conor. Right? That's why he says, I want to fight your fucking ass. It was the most fucking badass thing ever. Put that shit on t-shirts. Like, Nate Diaz was a fucking G. Now, he's begging fucking Disney. Not even Conor's begging Disney characters to fight. Conor's just ignoring Jake. Nate Diaz, let me just put this into perspective. Nate is begging Jake Paul to fight. This is nuts. Nate Diaz fans, you need to rein him in immediately. You need to rein him in. Now, he does follow up with a tweet of, at least I never really lost like all these fuckers. I mean, what? Now, this is the badass moment in the fight. Nate Leon Edwards. It was a fantastic moment. I loved it. I was on the edge of my seats. It's like, holy shit, 6 rounds. Nate kills him. Holy shit, is Nate going to win in this round, in the 5th and final round? At least I never really lost like all. What? Okay. Send the release. So after Dana makes a statement, Nate Diaz sends send the release, begging to box a Disney character. This is Nate fucking Diaz, man. He might as well bend over, spread his cheeks. Ride the pole, man. What's going? Why? When did Nate Diaz turn into this? The fucking Stockton, baby. Stockton flipping. How is he gonna flip the bird with boxing gloves on? What is he gonna do? He's gotta have big fucking pillows hanging off his hands. How is he gonna flip the bird? Could you imagine if Nate Diaz fucking begs Jake Paul to fight? The fight happens and Jake flatlines Nate. Could you fucking imagine? Nate, think about this. This is nuts. Please stay in the UFC. Please make a lot of money in the UFC. Extend the contract. Pull it together. I don't want to see you go over there. I'll watch. I'll root for you. But if you get fucking flatlined by Jake Paul, what are we going to do? We've lost. If Nate Diaz gets fucking flatlined by Jake Paul, what do we say as MMA fans? Even Conor McGregor has enough fucking marbles in his head to realize I'm not fighting that motherfucker. I'm doing my own thing. The guy's 200 plus pounds. What are we doing?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Clayton.
What do you think of the Masvidal versus Kevin Holland fight? Kevin said he wants a ranked fighter, and Masvidal needs to fight a up-and-comer to get some momentum again. Plus they both have pretty big names. Winnable fight for both as well. Thoughts?
I don't know
Who
why.
wins?
I don't know why Jorge would take that fight, because he's like still street Jesus. He's still right up in the mix. He collects one win against like top 5 guy. He's right back in place. If Leon Edwards beats Kamaru Usman, Jorge Masvidal's back in the mix. A guy that just lost twice to the champ. He's back in the mix. A guy that just got mauled by Colby Covington. Jorge's back in the mix because of the Leon story. Now, I don't think Leon's going to win against Kamaru, but if he does, he is. If Jorge takes the fight with Kevin Holland, I mean, he's got so much to lose in that fight. Would I like to see it? Of course, but he has too much to lose, and it's just not a smart move from the Masvidal camp. Now, for Kevin Holland, yeah, I mean, I'm sure he would take that in a second. Interesting question, but I don't think it's a smart business move for Jorge to take that fight. George handles Holland easily. I mean, possible. It's possible, but I mean, we don't know. We don't know anymore. Masvidal is calling out McGregor and said, you got Masvidal calling out McGregor. Yeah, back in the day, Conor saying Masvidal was too big for McGregor. Now Masvidal's calling out McGregor. I mean, it's just like people just begging stars to fight. Like it's wild, man. And I understand they want to get paid, but it's weird. Think about it. The BMFs, let me put this into perspective. The two people that fought for the BMF belt, Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz, the baddest guys on the planet, one right now is begging a Disney character to box. The other one's begging fucking Conor McGregor that hasn't won a fight in forever and split his leg in half. He's begging him to fight. Like, he's calling out that guy. These are the baddest men on the planet. If you're the baddest motherfucker on the planet, shouldn't you be calling out the fucking #1 guys? Like, I want to scratch my way up to the top again. Like, they're calling out guys outside of their weight class. They're calling out Disney characters to box. These are the baddest men on the planet. What is going on, baby? Money. And I get it. They want to get paid, but I think the fans are getting played. Let's call up Jordan. We'll continue this conversation. Actually, we'll ask Jordan Leavitt about this as well. Right now, we're going to get on the horn. Jordan motherfucking Leavitt, the Monkey King, who is fighting Paddy Pimblett. He is fighting Paddy Pimblett. UFC London. It's going down. Let's call him up. Okay, here we go. We got a good conversation, though. We're going to get back into it in a second here. And here we go. It looks like we've got the man, the legend over here, the Monkey King, back on the MMA-Holes Live. Let's go, Jordan. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Jordan, I was worried. I thought you might have died. I was like, oh my God, was it the time? Was it the time zone thing? But thankfully, we got you here.
Oh yeah, no, just me being brain dead. Long day of training. It's been a rough week, and Wednesday is, the hardest day for me. So I was just a little tired. Miss planned out my day.
Okay. Well, hey, no worries. I'm glad to speak to you, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. You got a massive fight coming up.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. It's a pretty big deal.
So, all right, let's get right to it here. Paddy fucking Pimblett. I just actually, I was telling my chat, I spoke to Matt Frivola. Are you familiar with Matt Steamroller Frivola?
Yeah, of course. We both fought Jose Flores. Both finished by arm triangle. Yeah, I know Matt.
Yeah, so Matt, great guy. He called out Paddy Pimblett on our show the last time he was on, and I slipped into his DMs today. I was curious what he thought about the matchup with you and Paddy, and he said, and Matt, I hope you don't mind me saying this. I mean, listen, he said this. He says, I want to fuck Jordan. No, I'm just kidding. He said that. Imagine if he said that. How would you respond to that?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'd be very flattered. Wait, no steamrolls for me.
No, I'm kidding, Matt. Don't kill me. No, he said that of course, he's rooting for Paddy because he wants to stop the hype train. But he says, don't sleep on Jordan Leavitt. I mean, you are pretty respected now in this big fight.
I know. Initially, I've been trying to stay off social media and stay off the odds and stuff. Initially, he was a minus 400 favorite, and that's going to close because that's ridiculous. That's insulting to say the least. But yeah, basically every fighter, and maybe I'm just oblivious to, maybe they're all just being very polite to me, but they're like, oh no, like you're fine. We think you'll be fine. I think I'm the only person that might be slightly worried about this. So yeah, getting a little bit more respect and support from my fellow peers.
Do you ever, and you're saying you get respect from your peers, do you get any heat? Because, I mean, you went in the Contender Series, and you basically are surging up. Now you're fighting, like, the fucking hot chick. Like, you're getting the hot girl right now before everyone else. Like, you're getting these situations that some people fight their whole career to just get into the UFC. And here you are, you're young, you're not even in your prime, probably, and you're fighting Paddy Pimblett in London on the big stage. I mean, does anyone give you heat in the gym about that?
No, they're all very happy for me, but I definitely am very insecure about all the opportunities I'm given. Like, my debut, Vital Slam, didn't really work my hardest for that. I didn't think I was going to get the Paddy fight. I thought I'd have to lose my last fight to possibly get the Paddy fight. And then I won, and I was like, well, who am I going to fight now? And I planned on just waiting around for 6 months and seeing how the next few matchups went in the division. And then they called me, and they were like, do you want to fight? Do you want to fight in July? I said, no. Do you want to travel? I'm like, no. It's like, it's for Paddy. I was like, okay, we could travel. Like, we could travel in July. Let's get it done. So, yeah, I'm very blessed and surprised at the opportunities I'm getting. It's been a very great year for me.
It really has. It's been so much fun watching you, man. Your rise up. You started off as the questionably gay guy, and now here you are as the fucking, you're borderline superstar. You beat Paddy Pimblett in London. I mean, you're a household name.
I know, it's pretty weird because I still think I'm just kind of a nobody. But then everyone's like, this fight's a big deal. And I'm like, they're all kind of a big deal from my perspective. You know, no one wants to get beat up in front of all their friends and family, in front of an international audience. So for me, it's like no difference. I have the same amount of nerves. So it's kind of cool that the upside of this fight is so much greater than the downside. It's pretty exciting.
You know, I saw in the chat right now as well, and we brought this up on our show earlier, the pressure situation. I always like to see who has more pressure on the shoulders. And I have to be honest, I saw someone in the chat say this too. Like, I feel Paddy has all the pressure. I understand you're going through pressure. I mean, you're traveling in hostile territory. But Paddy is meant to win this fight, right? So you're just waltzing in. If you win, that is like above and beyond expectations. That's amazing. If you lose, it's like, well, hey, I was put here to lose. So is there less pressure? Do you feel less pressure going into a fight like this?
I feel less pressure. I don't think it's exactly because I think the whole plan to lose. I do think I'm planned to lose. I do think they prefer, the people who write the storylines for all these things, I guess they prefer for me to lose. But I definitely feel like I'm a fighter. Like, the bigger the pressure, the better I perform. The one fight where I felt like there was no pressure, it was my worst fight, and I lost that one because I was like, okay, I'm finally made it. I had like a viral finish, and I'm like, I'm safe. My job's secure. My rent's paid no matter what happens, and that's a fight where I came in too relaxed. So I'm excited for the pressure. I do think he has way more pressure than me, but I think I'll rise to the occasion. I'm not concerned.
So now what does the wife say? You get the call, you're going to be fighting Paddy Pimblett. Like, what is your wife like, holy shit, like, this is unbelievable. Like, I mean, Paddy Pimblett is like, they're saying like the next Conor McGregor, yada, yada, yada. And I mean, I think that's a little crazy, to be honest with you. I mean, what Conor's done compared to what Paddy's done, I think we still have to learn more from Paddy. But still a dangerous fighter, don't get me wrong. But what does like your family say about this? I mean, now that you're thrown in front of the spotlight.
We all actually thought it was pretty funny. So I told my wife, I told my wife, and I was like, oh, I have the Paddy Pimblett fight. We both just started laughing. It was just like a ridiculous situation because we were saying like, I'm like, that fight's not going to happen. I'm not bad enough to fight Paddy. But then we got the fight, and she was like, oh, probably didn't look the best. So I'm like, yeah, didn't look the best the last one. So we all think it's pretty funny. Like, even just the slight build-up, there's like no trash talk. We're both just kind of saying these homoerotic things, like, you know, like he's no teabag me, I'm gonna twerk on him. So we're hyping the fight up, but we're not exactly doing it the right way. So it's interesting to see what we could do with this.
So are you guys gonna like do a press conference in the lead up? Did they talk about anything like that?
From my knowledge, as far as I know, I don't think there's going to be like the old school press conferences with the tables and we're across, you know, the microphone from each other. I do think that'd be interesting, but I actually don't think there's going to be too much trash talk. You know, he doesn't generally trash talk really directly. He'll say like these platitudes like, oh, my opponent's blank, insert name, I'll smash his face, and yada yada, but he doesn't really do the trash talk thing. But I'd be prepared. You know, I'm down for some witty back and forth banter. I think it'd be a lot of fun, but I don't think I'm going to get that opportunity.
So, like, do you put in your mind, like, okay, this is how the face-off's going to be, this is how, like, the scenario leading up, like, if you come across him in the hallway, do you think about beforehand, or you just let it flow?
I try to just let it flow. I feel like when you try to plan out every little situation that could happen, you're going to, like, freeze in that moment, like you're trying to remember your lines. I just don't want to. I'm doing improv. I'm not doing comedy. So I'm just trying to walk out there and figure out what's going to happen in every moment.
That is like, unless you're a guy like Conor McGregor who has like that it factor, or somebody, maybe Colby, but Colby seems like he scripts it. He writes it down. I feel like it doesn't work if it's not natural. So you have that natural flow.
Yeah, I don't want to ever be accused of playing a character. I'm weird and awkward, and that's the character. People could put me in that frame, and that's okay. I don't ever think I'm going to do like the practice speeches and have perfect one-liners like ready in my back pocket. I'm just going to try to be the everyday person, the everyman fighter. So I'm just trying to, because you don't know how to act in these circumstances. Like, you don't go to school. It's like, and when you're in a press conference, you say this and this. You try to be witty, but not too witty. I never know how to act in these circumstances. So I'm just trying to figure it out as I go along.
That's got to be more difficult for your opponent, too, because usually they expect when they have certain fighters, okay, this guy's going to do this and say that. Whereas you coming in, they don't know what to expect. Is it going to stay on the feet? Is it going to go to the ground? Are you going to say something crazy? Or you like they have no idea. So it's got to be rough leading up to a fight, not knowing what to expect.
Yeah, especially I'm always awkward in my fights, but I'm like a different type of awkward every fight. Like, I change my stances, I change like my fighting style. I think it's because I'm in many ways too relaxed and too comfortable, like on fight night. Like, I'm too willing to try new things. So I think in some ways I've suffered because I'm always doing a new thing every camp. But on the flip side, I think it also makes it harder to prepare for me because the only thing that's consistent is I have good grappling, I don't get hit. So there's a lot of different ways to go about fighting and still keeping those goals in mind.
A lot of people make reference to him being a little reckless. Like, he kind of goes crazy and tries to finish people quick and whatever. When you're training on someone like that, is there specific people that you bring into the gym that are crazy, wild, reckless guys? Or are you just a business as usual, same type of camp? Do you specialize in something like this?
No, I've dealt with reckless a lot of times. When I first came up, I was just sparring people in the park. And I have a lot of rounds with very reckless, very unorthodox people from different styles. And I train with world-class people every day and better strikers than him and better grapplers than him. And I just think, I have no concerns whatsoever about this fight. If luck is out of the equation, I don't think he has a chance. Like, not a smidget of a chance. I think as long as he doesn't get lucky.
Would you say this guy has the most interesting haircut of anyone you've ever fought?
Yeah, me and him definitely have like the worst 2 haircuts in the division, man. Like, I had that TRT 40-year-old guy, receding hairline, messed up hairline, wrinkles, and he looks like, you know, when you like put the bowl around a kid's head and cut it. Both don't look the best. We're kind of that bum demographic in terms of it.
I've noticed that in your fights, you do have different sort of hairstyle or long and short haircuts. Do you prepare that or just whatever happens that week?
When I'm fighting strikers, I try to keep my hair long. In that case, if I get hit with an elbow, it's less likely to cut. Because like my hair is like a sponge, like a wool sponge. So when I fight grapplers, I generally cut my hair. So I'm probably going to be buzzed for this one, or pretty short.
Okay. And what about a beard? Would you ever grow? I mean, Chris Curtis has he was getting complimented about his giant, beautiful beard. Would you ever grow a big, luscious beard?
Oh no, I look homeless with a beard. I'm like a discount Kimbo Slice, and not in a good way. Like, I mean, I'm one of those guys. I'm getting laser hair removal on my neck.
Are you really?
Yeah, it hurts like hell. It hurts a lot. But I'm not a facial hair person. If I have facial hair, it's just because I forget to shave for a few days.
You know, it's funny you say that. When I was younger, I always wanted to get LASIK on my back, and I'm like an ape. Like, I take off my shirt, I'm literally like kids run away. It's like a beast. So the pain under the neck from a laser, like, how many treatments do you have to get for something like that?
Well, if you're white, it's a lot less, but probably about 15, 16 of them. I'm
Really?
almost done. I basically grow no hair on my neck now, so that's a time saver for sure.
So it's just, you just don't like shaving? Is that why you did it?
Yeah, and just, I can never train the gi because the gi would like rip out my hairs and I get a bunch of zits, and that never looks good and didn't feel good. So I've always been very like weird about things touching my neck.
Mm.
But I have to shave every day. But when you shave every day, you get like cuts and you get staph and all those things. So I had MRSA a few years ago from a shaving accident. So
Really?
I've had a little bit of like trauma from that. So now I try to shave only on Sunday when I know I'm not going to be training afterwards, and the next where I'm most likely to cut myself. So I just decided to laser it off.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this question then. We're talking about hair. Do you shave your balls?
Sometimes.
Fight week, do you do a full body shave that, like, going into a fight? I always wonder, because you see guys manscaped to the gills going into fights, and then you see hairy beasts. Do you shave everything down before a fight?
Yeah, it's itchy when you cut weight. No one wants to lose 20 pounds of water and be itchy. So, at least from my rationale, I'm like, okay, let's get this all, smooth.
There you go.
I go, but yeah, I can't imagine. I don't understand those fighters who are just freaking like Forrest Griffin up, hair everywhere. I'm like, that must not be comfortable.
Okay, so you respect your opponents and you go in there nice, clean shaven, and that's very good. Well, sometimes if you let the hair go in on your chest, it gets a little stubbly, and if you're doing a submission or something, maybe you could, irritate their face with your stubbles.
Like kind of like do a little motorboat action from that. Face up, give him some exfoliating action. I don't ever considered that before.
Jordan, please have Paddy Pimblett motorboat you. That would be the most amazing thing in the world. If you got on top, a mount, just shove his face in your chest. I mean, that would be amazing.
I'll do my best. The theme for this fight for sure.
So the people, I mean, the twerk seems like it was a hit. You go in there, you twerk, and everyone's bringing it up. They're saying, oh my God, Paddy Pimblett's going to lose. You're going to twerk on top of him. Do you feel now that you hit the twerk, you have to level up this fight over here? Or are you going to double down with the twerk? Like, what are we going to see here?
I was hoping to leave the twerk behind me, but I think this would be a perfect stage to bring it out again and see the reaction from the crowd and all the Scousers that travel from Liverpool to see their hero. It'd be pretty fun to kind of troll one of the most notoriously hostile crowds in MMA. I'm pretty excited for the opportunity. I pissed off a lot of people throughout my country, but I've never gone abroad, so it should be fun.
This is going to be wild. That crowd gets so loud, deafeningly loud. The one thing I did notice, though, like I was trying to compare him to the Irish crowd, and the Irish crowd is like a big ass party, this and that. But I noticed in the UK with, like if it's in London or whatever, the crowd is very loud, but then they kind of chill. They're not constantly partying, whereas the Irish crowds are just bonkers. So are you preparing, okay, this walkout, they might throw shit at me, it's going to be loud, there's going to be boos. Are you preparing for, hey, it might be, you know, a little bit mixed?
I'm used to being the bad guy. It's kind of like I'm returning to my roots. I was always going to hometowns and getting booed by people, things thrown at me, and it's kind of cool because I'll get to be like a villain for the first time. I think probably the first and last time in my UFC career, I'll get to be the villain, and it's nice, you know, because I'm really excited. I prefer to have a hostile crowd to a home crowd because when it's your home crowd, like, you're not going to change anybody's mind, but when you're going around to a bunch of people that don't want you to win, they hate you, you can only go up from that point. They can only respect you more. So it's kind of exciting. Like, I might have an opportunity to convert some people to be my fans and get to see the crowd shift. And I think it's going to be my hometown crowd after the fight. I'm pretty excited for it.
Are you walking out to a similar song, or are we switching it up again?
Oh, I'm still thinking about a song. I'm trying to find a song that will make me laugh, but also might piss off the people that don't like me, and it's hard. I'm not quite sure.
If we got some suggestions from the chat, would you like me to throw it your way?
I'm down to try it, yeah.
Okay, chat, if you have any songs for Jordan Leavitt, please drop it in the chat. Now, they have the craziest songs, especially the UK fighters. They have some fun party sing-along songs that you would never think a UFC fighter would walk out to, but yet it just works. So are you leaning towards something maybe a little more crazy, flamboyant, or are you leaning towards something that just hits hard?
Oh, flamboyant and funny. Like, if I could laugh while I'm walking out, I think the nicest side at that point for me. Like, if I'm in a good mood and I'm relaxed, I feel like I perform very well. I've been dramatic with a few songs, and I think it makes me a little bit too somber and serious, and that doesn't really match my MO and my style. But definitely looking for something flamboyant and funny.
Okay, I got a couple of songs in the chat. Go ahead.
I just saw it in the chat. Like, oh, WAP. I'm like, I might do that. I consider it on the list.
Yeah, Way Too Sexy Drake, Oasis, Dancing Queen, Barbie Girl. Barbie Girl. Would you walk out to Barbie Girl?
I'd walk out to Barbie Girl.
Milkshake, My Neck, My Back, My Pussy, and My Crack. Would you walk out to that?
That one's a little too vulgar for the kids back at my church group. You know, I'm a Sunday school teacher. I can't walk out to that one.
Are you really? I didn't know that. So on Sundays, you're a Sunday school teacher?
Yeah.
Look at you. And so what happens here? You go in, you're teaching religion to the class, and everyone knows that here you are, a UFC fighter. Do they treat you as the UFC fighter, or are you just good old Jordan?
Oh, no. These kids, my kids, luckily, they don't follow sports at all. One of them recognized me, like, you're fighting the fat guy I saw on TikTok, and that's the most recognition I've ever gotten, was after this fight was scheduled. And I was like, okay, so only one of the 15-year-olds is really like, they all know I fight, but none of them really know too much about that. And it's kind of nice to kind of just be normal in that aspect of my life.
Yeah, that's got to be a nice way to just unplug and deprogram.
Yeah, because when I'm with my family wants to talk about my work and which is fighting. When I meet new people, like, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I do this. Oh, I watched a UFC card once. But when I go to church, no one talks about it. It's really cool.
It's got to be. Yeah, and I see with your YouTube channel, you're still talking about the books as well. You're still doing a lot of reading during this camp?
Yep. A lot of the interviews, especially the first 2 weeks, were definitely putting me behind schedule. But, yeah, I finished my 40th book 3 days ago, and at this rate, just 10 books a month the rest of the year, I'll make my goal of 100. So pretty ecstatic about that.
So I'm assuming you're not watching much TV then if you're spending a lot of time with the books, or do you watch TV?
I watch TV with, like, the wife before bed. Like, we're watching Modern Family. We watch The Office sometimes. But, yeah, I definitely don't watch TV every day. But when I have some downtime and I don't have, like, the mental capacity to, like, read and absorb things, we watch TV, and it's nice. A way to wind down.
Do you watch, like, Netflix? Do you watch, like, Stranger Things or something crazy that's... Oh, you said you were not a big horror fan, though, right?
I like Stranger Things, though.
Okay. What season you on?
We're on the latest one. I was waiting for we finished the mid-season finale last week. Is waiting the next 10 days. Very excited to finish that one. That'll be, like, the last thing we probably binge before my fight.
I'm halfway through season 3. And I watched season 1 when it first came out, and I took a break. I was like, I don't know, I like it. But then I watched season 2. I was like, holy shit, this is great. And season 3 is like a roller coaster ride. It's so much fun, that show, right?
It is. It like gives me nostalgia for a decade that I didn't live in. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I just, the nerds like facing an incomprehensible horror. It's a nice trope. Not a lot of people do that now. It's, it's easy to feel empathy for a lot of kids, and Eleven's a very easy character to love and to care for. It's really good. It's one of the last like kind of teenage YA shows I watched that I think is really good. And it's not like garbage. Mm-hmm. I think it's really fun.
And so you said last time you had the celiac disease as well. Have you been really calm, cool, collective, no problems with food or anything like that? Any situations where you've had setbacks because of gluten?
Oh no, diet's been perfect. Went to a bachelor party 10 days ago and was only slightly poisoned once. And I just babysat because I don't drink, and there's like 11 boys. So that was fun. And yeah, just trying to stay healthy, not get injured. I had COVID earlier, so that's not going to be an issue. Had the flu a few times because I have a baby and they get you sick constantly. So I'm just really excited to have all the sicknesses out of the way before fight week.
Yeah, the last time when you came on, you were still sick. I was like, holy cow, man, like you didn't sound good at all. So going into a fight, hey, listen, I'm knocking on wood, make sure everything's all healthy. I mean, that would be the preferable move, right? Being healthy in the fight.
Yeah. Don't dislocate or break an ankle, and don't get sick. Don't have the antibiotics fail. Well, my last fight, I was dealing with the after effects of COVID, and then I had strep throat, and then I popped my ankle out of place, and I still performed okay. So I think if only half as many things go wrong, I'm pretty confident this fight's gonna go very smoothly.
And are you still doing the social media for like 10 minutes a day and then unplugging from that? Is that still the plan?
Yeah, I'm a little sad because I haven't been able to look at my memes, but I just get tagged in so many things now, and I don't like. Social media is not real. So when it was like just me posting memes and occasionally posting a fight picture, it was a lot easier for me. But now a bunch of people reach out, a bunch of people are asking for interviews, tagging me in pictures. It's just it's a little much.
Sure,
I don't think the human brain was designed to have that much attention from that many people. And yeah, it's been nice to kind of unplug and just focus on what I want to do.
That has to be wild, right? You got knuckleheads like me just slide into the DMs trying to get interviews and shit like that. And before, you went from average Joe to like, hey, like all of a sudden you just got thrown into the mix over here. So how do you keep a focus and mentally together throughout all the craziness when everyone's trying to pull you in all different directions?
Oh, I'm definitely a person that just has to create separation. Like, I got to talk to HELWANI. Like, that was freaking crazy from my perspective. I used to watch him when I was in high school, and I was like, dang, I didn't know I'm deserving of that attention now. And the schmo came and, ambushed me at the gym. And the first week was very jarring. And then I was like, well, I feel like it's messing with my mindset. My wife's like, you just need to get off social media. You need to ignore it. You don't even like it anyway. And I'm like, you're right. I don't really like it. So I feel like me not being on social media, it's probably actually like the least stress and anxiety I've had for a fight camp in like 2 years, because I'm not seeing anything related to my fight at all. I'm just training, thinking about my opponent. Occasionally I watch tape, and then I just go home and I read. I'm trying to think about the fight as little as possible.
You got to think a guy like Paddy Pimblett, talk about, getting catapulted when he came into the UFC, and now it's just wild. People are going nuts over this guy. So, I guess anytime you get overwhelmed, you must think, well, this motherfucker is probably going through a hell of a lot more than me.
Yeah, I think his personality type, I think he might enjoy the adoration a lot more than I would. I was a very quiet kid growing up, very much to myself. And I kind of got out of my shell, and fighting was like an outlet for me to kind of express myself. And then I realized people like me, so that's nice. When you're a teenager, I thought no one would like you and that you were weird and wouldn't have a lot of friends. But I think me kind of being a to myself person, I think better prepared me for like the pressures of all the like attention you get from being a professional fighter. And I definitely don't. I mean, I enjoy it. It's nice to see like the positive, but I don't think popularity in itself is a good thing. And I think it's distracting. Like, this is like my art. This is my bliss, my passion. And I didn't do this to become popular. I did this to become a better version of myself. And I think a lot of fighters, and possibly my opponent, they get distracted by that. And they're like, oh, I'm an influencing person now. I'm a popular person now. And then I also happen to fight. But for me, I just want to be a fighter first. And then all the other stuff will kind of be auxiliary for that. So
that's a very dangerous opponent right there. You know, someone that just basically is not looking for all the glitz and glamour, someone that just wants to be a true martial artist and achieve the highest goal they could possibly achieve. That's a dangerous person.
I think so. I just want to fight and troll people. That's
You know, I've noticed, like, the first time we interviewed you to now, whole different Jordan. Like, you are super calm, cool, collective, like just comfortable in front of the camera. I noticed a big difference just in the little bit that we've gotten to know of you. Do you feel a lot more comfortable now with interviews and stuff?
I do. I was always scared I would say something stupid or controversial. Then I was like, dude, I don't do that. I'm not a controversial person. And I'm like friends of Sean Strickland, who can only say controversial things. And I was like, I can't be Sean Strickland. I can't be these people that say stupid things. And I'm like, wait, that's not that's not who I am. And now that I'm getting a little bit more experience, I'm building that XP and getting used to the interviews and, you know, getting more comfortable being myself. And they're asking me questions that aren't always the same cookie cutter questions, like, oh, how did you get started fighting? Do you like fighting? You're a law student. Like, it's nice to actually finally be able to answer questions that aren't the same 5 questions.
Sure. Yeah, it's got to be annoying. Talk stranger things. Let's not talk about how's the weight cut going and all that bullshit. We have some people in the chat that are jumping in on some stuff here. I tell you what, all I could think about is you getting this win, and that crowd is just going to flip and just go ballistic for you. They're going to lose their shit. Do you dream about that? Like when you're laying in bed at night saying, my hand's going to get raised, and I have a feeling that crowd's just going to go bonkers for you. Do you think about this?
Oh yeah, I think it's a Rocky IV moment for sure. Like, beginning, they hate me. As the rounds go on, yeah, that'd be a cool moment. That'd be something special. And I think that's what's going to happen. I'm really like kind of manifesting like my masterpiece for this fight. I'm super confident in this fight. I've been doing more mitt work than I ever have. I've been doing more like specific drilling than I ever have. And I got to fight fought just over 2 months ago, and I didn't get out of shape. This will be my first time where I'll go from camp to camp. I'm getting less injured as opposed to more injured. I think the stars are just aligning. It's kind of like my canvas is being prepared.
It's so weird. I was in the building for UFC 196 where Nate Diaz finished Conor McGregor, and the whole crowd was going so crazy for Conor. The Olays are going. Everyone was going nuts. I was going nuts for Conor. And as soon as Nate choked him out, the crowd got silent and then just erupted. They went nuts. Like the chills, the hairs on my neck right now are standing up just thinking about that moment. And all I could think about is like everyone was Team Conor going nuts with the Olays, but the fans are smart enough to realize, holy shit, something special happened here. You getting that win against Paddy Pimblett is a very similar thing. Oli, you're in, like, I mean, you're really the odds against you, and you get that dub over there, and you're twerking, and that crowd just throwing their panties at you. I mean, that's just nuts, man.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, we all want the drama show when we go to a fight. You know, we watch the fights, but we really like have an emotional connection to the stories behind the fights. And yeah, I think it's be something special. Very good. We got a donation coming over here. This is from, actually, no, Tommy Chen just subscribed. Thank you, Tommy, for the subscribe over there. I'm not going to make you twerk this time, Jordan. I know the last time I got a little uncomfortable, and I haven't been practicing. So, shame on you, my friend. This is from Clayton Fitzgerald.
Can I send a donation for Jordan when he is on? Can you play it for him, please?
Okay.
I have a question. It's not rude.
Okay, so he has a question for you, and I see some follow-up donations here. So apparently his questions are going to come in for you. Let's see what this is. Okay.
Wonderful, wonderful.
All right, it's Clayton again.
Hey Jordan, been watching your fights. You have some great technique. From what I see from the skill side of things from you and Paddy, I think you should be the favorite, mate. My question is, what is Paddy's biggest strength? And his biggest weakness?
I think his biggest strength is he's incredibly resilient and tough. He takes punishment very well, like in a physical sense. But I think his greatest weakness is that I'm not sure, and this might sound weird, I think he lacks bravery. I feel like he was, like 4 years ago, he was fighting the best of the best in Cage Warriors, like for his region. Then he wins, he loses a few title fights, he takes a few years off, and he comes back and he fights these cans. And then he talks about all this self-belief. And I'm like, if you really believed in yourself, why'd you come back after your several-year hiatus and fight people that weren't on your level, that you have every advantage against? And I watch his fights, and whenever he encounters resistance that lasts more than like the first round, I see him. Hello?
Yeah, it just flipped sideways.
What the hell just happened?
Do you hear us? Damn, he was actually giving a really good answer over here, but he might have lost the connection. Well, that was weird. Let's get him back on the line. Damn, that was a good answer though. It was very well thought out. Let's see. We're just waiting to see if the connection kicks back in. That was strange. That's never happened before. Where talk your trash, Jordan, says Ryan Kills. So what do you guys think of Jordan Leavitt? He's fighting Paddy Pimblett. It's going down. Let me get the date for you again. Here, I'm going to call him back. But it's July 24th. 23rd, excuse me. July 23rd. It's going down. So very close, right around the corner. Let's get Jordan back on here. I hope he wins. Me too, Johnny, man. I'm Team Jordan, man. I'm Team Jordan. We gotta go with Jordan. Dana's feeding him. All right, so his phone might have died or something. He lacks bravery. He said it. It says combat contents. Dana's feeding him to Paddy for a reason. Well, you know what? I respect Jordan's honesty about that, because he did say that he feels that he's like the sacrificial lamb. Like he's the guy that Paddy Pimblett he's supposed to beat this guy, right? So, you know, that's a dangerous person. Monkey King, yeah, we're gonna try to get him on the horn, back on the horn. I'm not gonna keep him on too much longer. We had him on for like an hour, but I'll try calling him again. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Practicing twerking on JBM. Don't tell him, but I'm still not very good at it. Yeah, Jordan's got that chip on his shoulder. While most donks play video games, Jordan actually reads. Yeah, he does. It's true. He reads. Let me see here. His phone might have died on him. Let me see. But what I'll do is, I'm not going to go crazy. Tried. Yeah, his phone might have died on him. Calling back. It glitched. Hold on out. It's a problem. Okay, let's do that. I do have another donation from Clayton, and what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to try to get him back on the line. If I can't, we still got a lot to talk about. Nate Diaz versus Dana White. And Jake Paul. Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. Dana White involved. Paddy Pimblett versus Jordan Leavitt. We'll recap what we spoke about earlier. Also, Gamrot versus Tsarukyan. We'll be right back after this quick break. And, hold on a second. Hold on. I'm back, though. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see what's... Let's try to get him back on horn. All right, let's see. Great show ahead. Correct. Game 4 is tired. Yeah, how are the... Oh, here we go. Okay, we got him back, Jordan.
Oh, that's embarrassing, guys. Sorry. My phone died.
It's not the first time it's happened, so I wasn't surprised. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to keep you on much longer. I feel so bad, but you were in the middle of answering that gentleman's question. He's got something else to follow up with here, so let me just play it right now.
Okay.
Wonderful, wonderful.
All right, here's Clayton again.
Hey Jordan, you hear a lot of stories about fighters going into a fight with an injury. How common is it? And what's the worst injury you have gone into a fight with? And why do fighters do it instead of waiting to be 100% healthy? Cause Terry's a lot at stake.
I think primarily it's a money issue. A lot of fighters, especially that's why you see a lot of fighters that are a little bit more well off and better like situated. They drop out more often. But for my experience, I had a herniated disc in my back in one of my fights, and I couldn't even feel my legs for the last half of that fight camp. And I actually was going to back out, but I couldn't afford to miss a paycheck. So that was definitely the worst injury I ever fought with. But a lot of times, fighters, we just can't afford to miss a paycheck because we pay for a bunch of coaching and private lessons up front. And everyone still needs to get paid even if you miss out. And a lot of fighters feel the pressure. And then they hear these stories of fighters that they look up to, like, oh, well, this fighter fought with a torn ACL. This fighter fought with a broken foot, and they succeeded. Why not me? So I definitely feel like we just always think we're the exception to the rule and not the rule.
There you go. Hey, nice answer right there. Very thought out answer right there. See, I appreciate that. Some people are like, shut up and move on. But look at Jordan. You actually care about the fans.
Do my best.
We got something else coming in over here from a Kainoto.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Jordan, do you draw energy from all 87 of us in the chat as you fight in the cage? Can we get some props for some of your success? On a serious note, please go out there and knock Paddy's head off. Please eat pizza in the ring after and share it with him.
What exactly was the first part of that question?
I do you draw energy from all 87? There's 200 here. I guess 200 in the chat. As your fight in the cage, I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. I don't know what the fuck he's saying. You killed Jordan, Kainoto. You killed. Oh man, I don't know what the hell he was talking about there. Let's see. We got another one from Kainoto here. This has nothing to do with Jordan, so we'll just let this go through.
Moss, I think he just got an incoming call from Condom Head and didn't know how to let you off easy.
Oh, here we go. We got Jordan back over here. There we go. Yeah, we had a little mishap again with the Skype. I don't know. It just froze up on us. Okay, yeah, I don't know what he was saying. I have no idea what he was saying. But we got one more coming in over here.
Wonderful.
This is from DVSV Flood.
Hey Jordan. I am a fan ever since you knocked that guy out with the planet. My question is, if Paddy scores a 10-8 on you and you win 2-10-9s for a draw, will you two have a twerk off to determine who the people's champ truly is?
No, he's gonna probably pick a different challenge because you can't beat me in a twerk game, man. I'm the king of the twerk game, baby. You don't got this cake. You don't got cake like me. You got cake everywhere else. On the chins, on the face, on the belly. You don't got cake on the butt like me. No. He's probably going to try to rig the game after we have a draw.
What do you think about his dancing? His signature dance towards the cage. What do you think about those moves?
I mean, he's a bit confused. But he's got the spirit, right? You know, he's got pretty good hips for a white boy. But, you know, he's still a pasty scouser from England.
Those sound like fighting words right there. I sense some trash talk.
Oh, crap. Sorry.
How dare you?
Little ethnic rivalry there, you know, defending my black card. But it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty good.
I'm going to let one more over here. This is from Tropic Tom.
Wonderful, wonderful.
In a room full of fighters, are you the smartest guy in the room, or are UFC fighters more educated than they let on?
Oh, that's a loaded question. I think in a room full of fighters, I'm possibly the best informed of a lot of fighters. I don't think my IQ is anything to like brag about. I think I'm pretty average. I think I just read a lot. Like if I was computer, my RAM is nothing special. And I think a lot of fighters are way more intelligent than me, but they just kind of gear their interests to different things. And I think fighters in general are more educated about things, but it's always like the most niche topics. Like I've talked to fighters about the history of foot fetishes or taxidermy practices across the world or the best way to cook horse. Like they have very niche interest, and yeah, they know a lot about what they're interested in. I've definitely met a lot of fighters who are very philosophical and very studious about a bunch of random topics. It surprised me a lot, especially coming from an academic background.
It's funny how you say cook horse. I just saw Shavkat Rakhmonov, who's fighting this weekend, speak about like favorite food is horse. Like he eats horse meat. It's a real thing. Have you ever tried horse meat?
I have not. I want to try horse. I want to try dog and I want to try horse, just so I can understand.
So you would actually go for it. You would try, you would pretty much try anything then.
Oh yeah, like I remember meeting a cow for the first time, and it was beautiful. It had like these nice dark eyes, and they were huge. And I was petting it, and I was like, "And this also tastes good," you know. And I love dogs, but I would try it once. I love horses, and I would try it once.
Interesting. Hey, listen, we got to survive somehow, right? And I mean, meat's meat. It is what it is. Horse meat. Maybe you'll look like Alistair Overeem after you have this horse meat.
Yeah, I'll eat any. I have to say that. Almost I'll eat any meat if it makes me look like that. But I'd eat horse. If I would make me not look like, you know, the dad that plays volleyball on the weekend, like give me a little bit more impressive of a physique, I'd eat horse.
There you go. We got a couple more things. You have a couple more minutes? We have a couple more things sliding in.
Of course, the connection's good. I'm down to be here as long as you want me.
You're the man, Jordan. Here we go. Let's let it roll in here. We got Clayton's coming back in.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Let's see what Clayton has to say.
Hey Jordan, who's your MMA GOAT? Do you have a favorite fighter? Mine is Anderson Silva. And who do you think would have won in a fight with JSP and Anderson Silva?
Ooh. That's like the age-old question. That's the question they were asking when I first got into the sport, and they're still asking it. GOAT athlete, like GOAT person, GOAT example is GSP. GOAT in terms of skill is Demetrius Johnson or John Jones. I feel like those three, and then Anderson Silva, a slight tier beneath those guys. But GSP is definitely the GOAT in my eyes. Really just lifted up the sport to a new level. He said when he first got into the sport, he wanted to bring MMA to a higher level, and he did. And I think GSP is the most masterful fighter in terms of executing his game plan we've seen yet. And I think he would have beaten Anderson, but I don't think it would have been exciting. I just think GSP and Anderson had such interesting stats. Like the average reach for GSP's opponents were longer than Anderson's opponents. Anderson cleared out his division, and middleweight's a horrible division. It still is. But 170 has always been a solid division, and I think GSP, no matter what era you put him in, he's top 1 or 2. And I think Anderson, you put him now in his prime, I don't think he'd be top 5 anymore.
Ah, very interesting. Look at that. I think that answered the question very nicely. I tell you what, speaking to you about MMA is, of course, that's what everyone wants to do because here you are as a UFC fighter. I would love to do a segment with you where we just discuss movies or TV shows. Do you consume, off fight weeks and fight camp, do you consume a lot of movies? We spoke about TV, but what about movies?
As long as they're movies that I've been alive during, I'm very caught up.
Oh, okay, there you go.
So many classics. I never seen the Terminator movies, never seen the Alien movies, Predator movies. Like, I've missed out on an entire era of movies because I just need to, you know, if I have to watch one of them, I have to watch all of them. So I'm behind on movies that I wasn't born during, but if they're after 1995, I'm pretty cultured.
Do you watch superhero movies? Because Doctor Strange just hit my streaming app, but I didn't see the first one. Did you see Doctor Strange?
Oh yeah, Doctor Strange is one of my favorite Marvel movies. We're actually probably going to watch that after this, actually. Yeah, Multiverse of Madness came out. Yeah, I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I went to almost every one of them for midnight premiere. So big fan of that whole, I guess it's never going to end, but that era of time in cinematic history.
Wait, so you didn't see the second one, correct?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. I need to find out if I need to watch the first one to see the second. It's madness. Maybe I should go back and watch the original. Is supposedly very good.
Oh yeah, the first one's bomb. Definitely watch that first. It's pretty short too.
There we go. And what would you say is your number one Marvel movie? If you had to pick one movie.
That's a good one. I like the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but I think my favorite movie is actually Age of Ultron. I think Ultron was the most compelling villain. And I just remember watching the trailer for that, and it ends like with him quoting Pinocchio, like, there are no strings on me. And I got like chills when I first heard that. And I rewatched that movie a few weeks ago because my wife never watched all the movies. She always thought Marvel was overrated. I'm like, what have you seen? She's like, I've seen Endgame, seen Avengers, and like saw like 5 other ones. I'm like, well, you've missed like 30 movies, so let's watch it all in the order it's meant to be watched in. And I got to Age of Ultron. I'm like, this one's really good.
Wow, look at that.
It's the time for a bunch of the conflicts in later movies.
Interesting. I see a lot of people say Thor Ragnarok. I still got to see that one. I heard it was great.
Oh, Ragnarok's really good too. That really develops a relationship between Hulk and Thor, and oh, that's a good one too. There's a very few wrong answers when you ask me that question.
There you go. All right. Well, I'll pick your brain after I watch the first Doctor Strange. We got one more sliding in over here.
Super chat.
A super chat from Joshua Ryman.
I tried to like Paddy, but I can't get behind him. From a fellow Christian to another. Rip his head off. Love you, Jordan.
Oh, that's not turning the other cheek, my brother in Christ. Yeah, like it's it's pretty sad actually. So a lot of people, they follow him, but I'm not sure it's because they like him. And that must be a kind of he must be in a state of anxiety, at least if he cares about what people think, because that must feel pretty bad, like being like renowned but not being well liked. I definitely see like a lot of fighters like, oh, I want to get behind him, but I can't stand him, and I think he's funny. Well, I also understand why his vibe doesn't match with a lot of people, and I think me and him would be friends under different circumstances, but I definitely see why some people don't like him.
There you go. And I want to ask you this, and we will let you go. The big story that everyone's talking about, Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul boxing. Who would win if they were to box? What would you say?
If it's 8 rounds, I mean, if it was more than 8 rounds, I'd say Nate, but I think Jake Paul, he's pretty damn big. And Nate's a pretty scrawny guy, even though he's at 170 now. But I could see Nate Diaz whooping him the last 3 rounds and probably getting some 10-8s in there, but I'll go with Nate. I think Nate's got that one, as long as it's not 4 rounds.
And say Nate has one more fight on his contract, right? Say he says, you know what, I'm going to fight at 155. I'll fight against Jordan Leavitt. You beat Paddy Pimblett, and he's like, you know what, I want to take that guy. How would that fight go down?
How every Nate Diaz loss goes, I would lay kick and circle. I think he hasn't gotten better the past decade. He's just fighting fighters with worse fight IQs. And I feel like the blueprint to beat Nate Diaz was set before Reebok was even a thing. So, theoretically speaking, because I would never get that fight, but theoretically speaking, I feel pretty confident in that fight.
There you go. Hey, Jordan, listen, I appreciate you coming on. I could talk to you all fucking night, but get to your family right now. I really appreciate you coming on the show. And this fight is going down. I'm going to ask you the question everyone asks. How is it going to go down? Are you going to finish him, or is it going to be a decision? How are you going to win this fight?
I think I'm going to maul him for 2 rounds. I think I'm going to break him in the 3rd.
Break him in the 3rd. Wow.
I don't think his mind and his spirit's going to last. I think the pressure I'm going to bring to this fight.
I love this fight, man. I really do. I was on the Steamroller versus Pimblett fight, and now when they announced this one, I was like, wait, hold on a second. They're putting Jordan Leavitt in there? I'm like, come on. Sign me up. Where? How do I watch? This is amazing. ESPN Plus. Go link in the description. Anyway, Jordan, thank you so much for coming on, and if you'd like to say the last words to the MMA-Holes, now's the time to do so.
Oh, I love this podcast. Nice to talk to you guys again. The chat always cracks me up. I'm trying not to look at it the entire time. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys after I beat Paddy Pimblett, and we'll have some fun conversations to be had.
Hell yeah, Jordan. Hey, good luck. We're looking forward to seeing the fight. And third round. Okay, hold on. Let me put the bet in. Thanks for coming on, Jordan. Jordan Leavitt on the MMA-Holes. What do you say, friends of the chat? Jordan killed it once again. A legend in the making on the MMA-Holes live stream. And it's nice of him to come on the show tonight and share some knowledge with the community. Great guy. How could you not root for this guy? I mean, listen, I don't hate Paddy Pimblett. I have nothing against Paddy, although Paddy Pimblett back in the day did say he was going to come on the show when he was a wee lad, and then just never came on. I don't know what the hell that was about, but Jordan has come on multiple. This is his third appearance on the show. I mean, we're Team Monkey King over here. Carnage, third round, place the bets. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to talk about the stories. We're going to get it popping. Hit the like button, friends. Hit the like button. We had Jordan Leavitt on, for God's sake. Smash the like button, and we will be right back.
Let's be honest, when it comes to underwear, there's nothing more important than comfort. Why empty your pockets for generic underwear that loses comfort, quality, and style when you can slip into a pair of Sheath and get even more out of your daily wear? With Sheath underwear, you can treat your jewels like royalty as they are given their own private sanctum, keeping them secure and you in a state of bliss. Get 20% off Sheath now using promo code MMA-Holes. That's MMA-HOLES with the link in the description below.
And for the ladies?
Absolutely! Sheath isn't just for men. Ladies can now experience Sheath's style, comfort, and functionality too. Sheath for women is crafted using a signature modal elastane fabric blend for form-fitting breathability that will not affect the natural pH environment or the microclimate of the skin while producing that long-lasting, unimpeded comfort. Use promo code MMA-Holes, MMA-HOLES, for 20% off at sheathunderwear.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the program over here.
Here we go. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with Glove Touch? What is wrong with this kid? This kid, what did he? Oh my God. I told him to put thumbnails on our social media posts. So my man puts. Thank you guys. Appreciate the kind words. What is he doing? I saw the DM goes to Jordan Leavitt. This is what he uses as the thumbnail. yeah. He didn't get knocked the fuck out. He just did an interview, bro. Like, what are you doing, man? That's the fucking that's the thumbnail you put up. Oh my God, dude, what the fuck, bro? You're just trying to fucking scare away the guests.
I deserve on the list.
Yeah, Way Too Sexy Drake, Oasis, Dancing Queen, Barbie Girl. Oh, so the songs is what he. Oh, okay. Oh God, what are we doing? I looked into the DMs. I was gonna send him, thanks for coming on, and I saw this fucking. I unsent it. I fucking unsent it from the DM. I'm like, what is he fucking doing? Is he on crack? And then I saw in the Discord he puts the picture too. All right, if you want to put the picture in the Discord, fine. Why are you making it? Why are you putting it as the thumbnail? We want these guests to come back. We don't. You can't make this up. You can't. You just can't fucking make this shit up. Jesse's taking the next call.
Wonderful.
That's it. Clayton.
Do you think Paddy gaining so much weight then having to cut it before fighting you hurt him? Will that make any difference?
It's a good question. He did bring up the weight a little bit. I would answer for him. I guess. I wish I would have seen that donation come in while we were interviewing him. I did not see that though. I am sorry, but I would imagine it. I don't, because Paddy looks like he's in great shape. It looks like he sheds that weight pretty quick, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. Thanks, Clayton, man. Clayton, you've been going crazy.
Wonderful.
Oh boy.
That's the first chief fighter I have ever got to talk to.
Nice.
Thanks for that, Moss. I can tick that off my wish list now. I tried to ask some thought-provoking questions. Where the fuck's Guru's fighter interview?
Come on, that guy. Listen, here's the deal. We have we've made ourselves the most interactive MMA show going on 6 years in August. There is no other show that you have the interaction that you have on this show. In fact, I'm fucking around with Glove Touch. I mean, he's got to stop with the fucking but still, we're working now with viewers of the show. We got people going to events, press access to events. It does not get more interactive than us. And we got the top tier guys. I mean, think about it. Jordan Leavitt is fighting Paddy Pimblett. That's the fight. That's the fight everyone gives a shit about at UFC London. Chris Curtis, we're in his fight week right now. Chris Curtis has been on the show multiple times talking about his fight. And this guy's the rock star going in there. Everyone's talking about him. I mean, you got the Gamrot Tsarukyan. Everyone gives a shit about the Chris Curtis fight going down to get this grappling phenom. That's what we're doing over here. We're up in the ante, and we're trying to get these guys in front of your faces and gals in front of your faces that you guys can interact with as well. So thank you, Clayton, for the nice words, and thank you for the donation. Appreciate that, my friend. I still can't believe that thumbnail. I just what are you doing? Anyway, so he thinks Nate Diaz would win against Jake Paul. So, yeah. What do you guys think in the chat about Jordan Leavitt's interview? And what do you think of his chances against Paddy Pimblett?
Wonderful.
We got Clayton jumping in.
Lol, Glove Touch has been around forever. Why the fuck are you trying to sabotage your show for?
I don't know,
WTF,
man.
so childish, lol.
It's like this weird. I think he's got fucking mental problems. He's 17, and we're trying to mold him so, he can, it's only going to help his future. Even if he's not with us down the road, it's just going to help him. You don't do, what the fuck? I know it's going to happen, man. I'm going to talk to Jessie and she's going to lose her shit. He's got potential. Glove Touch has a press pass tomorrow because of us for PFL. And this is what he decides to put as the fucking thumbnail. That's the fucking thumb. Oh my God. I think he wants public humiliation. I think he looks for that. I have no fucking idea what he's thinking after that. Anyway, this fight's happening on Saturday night. The question is, are we putting some bets in? You know where my bet's going on Saturday night, mybookie.ag. We're dropping it on my man Chris Curtis going down. Let's actually go on the card here. Chris Curtis, the action man who actually helped us out tonight because we couldn't get a hold of Jordan. Chris got a fight coming up. Hold on, I passed him over here. Against Rodolfo Vieira. Okay, my man's 8-1-0 Vieira. Coming off a win. The guy's nickname is the Black Belt Hunter. So you know what this guy wants to do. This guy wants to drag you down to the ground and kill you, right? The guy's a massive human being. Like, he's a big fucking solid, strong, 6 foot 185er that God knows what he's going to weigh on the night of. Chris Curtis is a pretty jacked guy as well, but let's be honest, he was fighting at welterweight. So Chris is going to be looking to come in here and knock this dude's head off. And how about this? They're making Chris the favorite at a -155. I'm still going to take the bet. I'm still going to place the bet. I'm going to put it on Action Man. We're going to do it right now. We're going to go over to the MMA side of things over here. Chris Curtis loves Nickelback. Yeah, he was defending Nickelback in his media scrum. He actually made a damn good point. I got to say, Chris actually made a damn good point. He said, I'm paraphrasing. And if someone can get me the quote, maybe drop it in the Discord. But he said basically everyone that's shitting on Nickelback are people that were like basically running to Nickelback for help when they were going through some tough times in relationships. You know, I'm paraphrasing, but something along those lines. He's not wrong. Like, there was a time where Nickelback was massively popular. I mean, they had the theme song to Spider-Man, for God's sake. Spider-Man was like the biggest fucking movie back in the day, and Nickelback like earned the rights to have the theme. There was a time when Nickelback was massive, but yeah, he's not off. He's not off. Now, do I listen to Nickelback? No, I don't. But when I was younger, I did. Nickelback had some pretty fucking decent albums, like not bad. I don't listen to him anymore, but still, I'm not gonna shit on him. It is what it is. Let's see. So I don't disagree with that. All right, so they have, oh wow, this is like it's almost a pick 'em here. -125 Curtis, -105. I'm gonna drop a hundo. Yeah, look at this photograph, man. Chris Curtis, we're gonna put the bet in on the Action Man. He has been amazing for us. You know, he's been, every time we drop some money on him, we're dropping 100 to make 80. Why the fuck not? Let's go, Action Man. I'm gonna be rooting hard for Chris Curtis. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's in. It's locked up. We're going for the Action Man. And you know damn well I'm putting money on Jordan Leavitt before that London card. There is not a doubt in my mind that I'm going for Jordan. And that's some underdog money. But on this card over here, there's some really strong, solid fights on this card that's happening. Another fight night that's just a banger. And you got the Shavkat Rakhmonov, the man who apparently is actually, he does eat horse meat. Like, he actually admitted to it. 15-0. Neil Magny looking to stop the party. That's going down. 2-fight win streak for Magny, Max Griffin, and Jeff Neal. Before that, he lost to Michael Chiesa. Does Neil Magny have a shot? Does he have a shot in this fight? I mean, I guess you could say anyone has a shot with 4-ounce gloves inside an octagon. Anyone's got a chance. But Neil Magny versus Shavkat, what are we looking at here? Shavkat is a -400. Welterweight is scary. Scary. The people, and think about this too. You got Shavkat, running up the rankings at welterweight. You got this shit going down at lightweight at 155. Tsarukyan versus Gamrot. We got some good young talent cruising up the rankings. And the UFC, who is hitting on all cylinders, the UFC, who they're making more money than ever right now. They jacked up the pay-per-views. They got superstars. They got fucking talent, young talent coming up. I mean, damn, man. It's wild with the product that the UFC puts out there on a fight night. On a fight night. Like, if you look at a boxing card, you got one, massive, main event, and then everything else is a bunch of nonsense. You look at this card, we're going, look, you got Tsarukyan versus Gamrot, you got Magny versus Rakhmonov, you got Parisian versus Badeau, which is a fucking banging sleeper fight over there, pretty high up on the card. And I gotta be honest with you, Umar Nurmagomedov, I'm kind of a little surprised. I thought Umar would be a little bit higher up on the card, but Umar's over here versus Maness. You got Thiago Moises back against Christos Giagos. That is a solid main card. Now, if you're a casual fan and these names don't ring a bell, I promise you, you're going to be delighted with this card, at least the main card over there. And then you got Chris Curtis on the main card. Excuse me, Rodolfo Rivera. You're kicking off with the Action Man. I mean, the man's name is the Action Man, for God's sakes. Kicking off that main card. A 6-fight main card, and it's going to be on ESPN Plus. Link in the description down below. And thank you to those that use our promo link. Good main card over there. No pay-per-view, no $80, so you just fucking get your ESPN Plus and you enjoy the fights. Inchukwi versus Olberg. Inchukwi is a scary son of a bitch, and he's fighting Olberg, and Olberg is the guy that's Izzy's friend, isn't it? That is Izzy's friend. Israel Adesanya. Man's coming off a win over here against Fabio Cherant. Now, Fabio Cherant has been cut by the UFC. Basically, they throw Fabio at guys. No disrespect to Fabio, but you know, guys need a win. Fabio is the guy that they threw in front of him. So Carlos is coming off that win over here. This is going to be an interesting matchup because you got Inchukwi coming off a loss against how do you say this guy's name? Mirzakhanov. I can never say this fucking guy's name. Mirzakhanov, I guess. I don't know. He is a plus 100 against Izzy's friend over here. This is going to be interesting. I mean, my man is only 4-1-0, but he does have experience in other combat, in MMA professionally. You know, not so much experience, but going to be an interesting fight. Headlining the preliminaries. Then you got TJ Brown versus Shaya Wayawala Nurdenbrek. How do you say it? Nurdenbek? Nurdenbek. I don't know how to say this guy's name, but he's from China. I don't know much about this guy. He's been in the UFC 2 fights, lost to Kulibao, Sean Soriano. I don't remember him. Doesn't ring a bell. TJ Brown rings a bell. Seen him fight. So Contender Series, 2 losses, now 2 wins in a row. Charles Rosa, that's a good win right there. Kai Kamaka III. So, all right, interesting scrap over here. Nothing to go crazy over. You got Cody Durden, who's had some choice words after his fight, got criticized, you know, for his social media. He's bouncing back against JP Buys. JP Buys is Cheyenne Buys, well, Cheyenne Vlismus, formerly Cheyenne Buys' ex-husband. Is this the first fight back? 8 months ago? I guess so, yeah. So he had some problems getting back into the UFC because of the whole drama. I don't know, it was with COVID or it was with a green card. I don't know what the fuck it was, but he was having a problem getting in there. And Cheyenne Buys basically said that they got married so he could be in the US. It was some really weird, bizarre thing. Well, Buys is looking to bounce back. He's on a 2-fight skid and looking to fight Cody Durden. These guys both need a win, so should be an interesting scrap. Mario Batista versus Brian Kelleher. Damn, doing Brian dirty, man. Second fight on the card. Dude's been in the UFC for a minute, and he's the second fight on his card. I guess it goes to show you the depth of this card. Jin Yu Frey coming against Vanessa Demopoulos, and that's going to open the party up. Yu Frey is on a 2-fight win streak. Demopoulos off of her last win against Silvana Gomez Juarez. Tight, sexy fight night. 12-fight card here. So any fight that stands out on you, we just dropped money on Chris Curtis over here. Let's see where Umar, he's got to be a pretty big favorite. He's a minus 800. Boy, oh boy. Wowzers. Minus 800. So Tsarukyan, I think, is a fairly decent favorite. He's a minus 260. Do you take a shot on the under here with Gamrot? What do you say, guys? I mean, the guy's on a 3-fight win streak. Tsarukyan's a beast. I understand why he's a pretty big favorite. I don't know, man. I think Tsarukyan's going to get it. What do you guys say in the chat? Do you think that Gamrot is a guy to take a chance on? Let me know in the chat. Yep, that is Durden, Ryan Kills. You're correct. I laid big money on Durden. Did you really? Wow. Okay. Whatever happened to Brian Caraway? Misha's ex. I don't know. He did drop off. He was an odd dude. Very unlikable guy. Armin too tough. Armin wins for sure. Cheyenne, as in Cheyenne is in my DMs. JP Buys. It's so sad that like every time I see it, well, at least we know who they are now. I mean, we weren't really paying much attention to them before that, so the drama kind of put them on the map. Put the house on the minus 800. Oh my god, dude! Put the house.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Clayton.
Jesse's going to murder that boy lol. Where is she, by the way? Can't wait to see her reaction. That was honestly messed up, love touch.
I don't know.
So disrespectful, lol.
Honestly, I don't know what the fuck. Like, I don't want to drag. So Jesse, oh man, Jesse's last thing is get rid of him. she texted. I mean, oh God, I've gone through. Oh man, we'll have a talk after the show. So Jesse's working on some contracts. We got some good sponsors that we're working on right now. I think you guys are really going to love these sponsors. But I mean, we're working on these sponsors, and you know what? Oh, fucking A. Like, we got to do damage control. Look what he put on here. Let me see. Yeah, you know what? Jess, if you're watching this, if you could take that post down. I don't fucking know, man. We already made a bit out of it, but oh, for fuck's sake. Dude, it's wild, man. Yeah. All right. Jess, if you could take that post down. Like, the more I think about it, it's just fucking nuts. Oh God. Thank you, Clayton, for bringing it back up and making me think about it. But yeah, we probably should take that down now. The more I think about it. Oh my God. It's so ridiculous. Gamrot wins this bet the house. Gamrot, wow, you think so, huh? So you're going with Gamrot? Let's see. Jordan, one of us. Yeah, he's one of the good guys. Like, what? Like, why would you do that to the dude? Like, it's fucking nuts, man. Like, he didn't have to come on the show, and then you got this fucking knucklehead. All right. You got this knucklehead. That's what he posts. So Jess is, yeah, she's working on some stuff right now, but she'll be on Saturday. She'll be on Fuko Friday. She's not gone. You know, mommy duties, and she's got a lot of stuff behind the scenes that she's doing as well to keep this thing afloat. But you know, it's the joys of being an MMA hole. Thank you, Jess. All right. Umar is fighting on this card. Yeah, dude, the card is loaded, man. It really is for a fight night. Last week's fight night was a banger. Now we got 12 over here coming up this Saturday. So good, man. Really, really good card. So really looking forward to this thing. By the way, I like the poster. I do like this poster. I dig it. It kind of reminds me of a little GTA. I don't know. Something about it. It's simple. But it looks good, man. I don't know. What do you guys think about this poster over here? Like, it's just different. Maybe the UFC is going to get a little more creative, you know? I don't know. It's not like it's very tricky to put a poster together like this, but I don't hate it. Like the colors, I don't know. Something about it stands out. It's a good one. I mean, they don't look the best, you know? Their faces look a little, but it is what it is. Yeah, it looks like GTA, right? It does. Thank you, Clayton, for the donations, man. You fucking killed it tonight. And thank you, everyone that donated. Appreciate it. All the likes that came in. Appreciate the likes as well. The thing is, you can't make posts like that for people who are nice and come on your show, plus some sponsors. Yeah, I already had this fucking conversation with them. It's fucking crazy. I know. He's young, man. He's learning, so I don't want to go too far with this, but, you know, he's got a lot to learn. He's a talented kid. It's just trying to rein him in, you know. The thing is, so confident in Nate Maness. You like Nate Maness? Interesting. Very, very interesting. Go give us a follow on Twitter over here. It's at the MMA-Holes on Twitter. And, well, Glove Touch put some news out over here, so we got that right. So there we go. All right, see? See, Glove Touch. Not a complete fail. He's trying, man. He's trying. Get the belt. Spank him. He's trying, man. He's trying. I'm ready to show that I'm better than anyone in the division. I believe it deserved more attention. God willing, I'm the future UFC champ. Time will show it. God, man. Him and Khamzat are just on a crash course. Thank you, AP, for the subscribe. On a crash course for each other. Like Shavkat and Khamzat, boy, oh boy. I mean, and if you're Kamaru Usman, you got to be like, come on. What is going on here? These crazy names. And their fuzzy hats and cleft lips, flying up the rankings. Like, if you're Usman, you got to be like, where's Canelo? Can I fight him? It's crazy, man. This guy's a savage.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Tropic.
Glove Touch lives a protected life on Minor Island. The problem is that he is burning all of the bridges that lead off the island. Hope he can swim.
Yeah, I just think he's just, he's trying to have some fun. I think, maybe be a little funny or whatever. But, I'm all about having a good time. But it's just like you got to fucking pull it together. I don't know, man. Thank you, Tropic. Appreciate that.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Well, if Jordan never comes back on the show again, you know who to blame, lol. That was honestly a great interview. Seems like an honest and happy guy.
He's a great guy.
So it makes you guys seem two-faced when after he leaves something like that gets posted up.
Yeah, look, I think Jordan can take a joke. He's good, but yeah, at the same time, you're 100% right. Like you don't just do the interview and just fucking backhand slap him with that fucking like it's just weird, man. Like, for instance, let me just say this. Like, this picture over here, Tony Kelly, like, we're probably not having this guy on. So I fucking roasted him here. He didn't come on the show or anything like that, It is what it is. He got knocked out. That's his picture. Put it there. But then Glove Touch found the one screenshot that was actually Jordan Leavitt looking like Tony Kelly over here. Oh, God. What you gonna do? But he got the news up on Twitter, so I got to at least give him that. We'll figure it out. I did originally want this trilogy. To shut people up, but right now it's not about that. This fight's going to be a legacy for me. So Volkanovski embracing this fight over here. If Volkanovski loses this thing, oh my God, we're going 4. Like, we're just nonstop. It just never ends. It's so weird, man, this fight. I'm into it and I'm not into it. Like, I'm not like complaining about the fight, but at the same time, I'm not like, it's not the fight that is bringing me to the card. But then again, coming off of how Volk looked in his last fight, I'm assuming, we're going to see a fired up dude. Max Holloway's just trying to get that belt back. I guess it's interesting, but what do you guys think in the chat about the trilogy over here? I mean, it's not even a trilogy because Volk won 2 of them. I understand, there was some controversy, but technically he won 2. So what do you guys think? You fired up for this thing? It's on the IZZY card right around the corner. Volk fighting for legacy. Do you think Usman even fights Shavkat or Chimaev, or does he retire beforehand? Adam, I'm telling you, man, like I've said this before. So now I think he would fight KHAMZAT. I do think he would fight KHAMZAT because people are saying he looks beatable because of Gilbert Burns. I don't take anything from that Gilbert Burns fight. In fact, I think that is the best thing that could have happened to Chimaev. I think he's going to learn from that fight and be a monster coming out of that fight because he's been taken into the deep end on a 3-round fight that he blew his load early and still came ferocious. So I think KHAMZAT learned a lot from that fight. I think he's more dangerous. But with that being said, ever since that fight, Kamaru hasn't been steering clear from it. He seems like if it's thrown in front of him, he'll take it. So I think Kamaru would take the KHAMZAT fight, but you got this Shavkat guy now coming up. Eventually, I mean, now we're not talking about the same guys over and over again. We're talking about savages that, barely speak English, that are wearing fucking horses on their heads and shit. I don't know, like fuzzy, fluffy things and are eating horses. It's scary, man. It's scary when you see guys like Shavkat running up the rankings. You got KHAMZAT right there. It's not getting any easier for an aging Kamaru.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I do adulting and the funny shite occurs. Anywho, the only way we don't get Volk versus Max 4 if Max wins. Obviously fatality like finish. Seems obvious, no? A finish on neither side ends this.
Oh, man. I don't know, man. Yeah, so Sonosi, run back Jordan's interview, though. He was good. And thank you for the donation. Appreciate that. The 1K King. I tried watching the Volkai and Izzy interview. It was almost made me give up on my MMA fan card. Damn, that shit was boring as fuck. Yeah, we didn't pay attention to it. I mean, Jesse's a massive Izzy fan. Like, huge Israel Adesanya fan, and she didn't even watch the end. You know, it didn't make sense, the press conference. I didn't watch it, so I can't really give you an accurate assessment of it, but I just thought it was going to be lame. I saw a couple of clips that they threw on social media, and Izzy was, I don't know, it looked boring. It did. Let me know if anyone enjoyed it, if there was anything worth watching out of that. Shavkat was a killer when Kamaru was 30%. Volkan needs to go to 155. He doesn't have to do anything. I mean, he calls the shots right now. Do you think Leon has a chance? I can see him beating up Usman's legs. And if Usman stays on the feet, I could see him getting pieced up. Okay. Of course, anyone has a chance. Of course. You have to get that out of the way, right? When you're fighting with 4-ounce gloves inside an octagon, anyone has a chance, blah, blah, blah. But no. Kamaru wins. Just say that. I'm riding on Kamaru. Kamaru beat him already. Kamaru is a beast. He's better than ever right now. Kamaru takes out Leon. Rocky out. Leon's good. Don't get me wrong. Leon is good. He's no slouch. But, yeah, Kamaru fucks him up. I think, at least. It's going to be interesting. It's not like, it is an interesting rematch. It's so much time has passed. So let's see what Leon has to bring to the table. The press was just Cell's presentation for the Australian fans. Okay, so yeah, so if Australian fans wanted to see their guys out there, okay, that's cool. But I think internationally, like with us, I don't know. It probably doesn't do anything for us, right? Yeah, the playoffs still going. Who's winning that game? Who's winning? Man, if Tampa wins this game, they tie it up, right? That's wild, man. Yeah, if Tampa wins tonight, they win the series. Tampa's gonna fuck up at the Avalanche, and that's crazy. 3 in a row. That's nuts. Tied in overtime. Oh boy. When is London? That is on July 23rd. July 23rd. That's when Jordan Leavitt's fighting Paddy Pimblett. If you missed it, run it back. When we shut down, we're going to shut down the stream any second now, but if you missed it, run it back. Jordan Leavitt coming on the show. Great stuff. It's not that serious. I go into the DMs. I literally went into the DMs to thank Jordan for coming on, and the first thing that fucking pops up, like, you DM, when you tag someone, that slides into their fucking DM. Like, I think he just wants to rile me up. I don't fucking know. Let me put the picture up over here. That is the first, dude. Like, are you looking to just burn our bridge? Like, I don't understand. Like, I feel like you have this self-destructive behavior that you're just dying to fucking burn this bridge and like make me ferociously aggravated. As soon as I went into the DM, okay, this is the first fucking thing I saw. This literally, this picture slides into Jordan's DM. Hey, thanks for... I was literally going to say, hey, thanks for coming on the show. This is the picture that fucking goes into his DM. Dude, come on, bro. Come on. Dude didn't have to come on. Didn't have to come on the show. So I immediately deleted the picture. That doesn't fucking look good. I got to do some sort of damage control after the stream. You can't be doing that. You can't do that. You can't go over to the Instagram. Oh, hey, they clipped my appearance. They tagged me. And this is the fucking thumbnail. Like, dude, like, what are we doing? No, we deleted it off the Instagram thing. But what are we fucking doing? Like, I mean, this is not brain surgery. They're gonna put us in an early grade. Like, it's fucking not brain surgery. I said, put a thumbnail on there, a catchy thumbnail, right? I guess he took it incredibly serious. But here's the thing. You would have saved yourself if you didn't drop it in the fucking Discord. Like, if you just played, oh, I didn't know. I just thought it was a catchy thumbnail. You legit dropped it in our Discord, knowing that you were fucking trolling. What are we doing? What are we doing? Anyway, it's okay. We will. I'm gonna have Jesse take care of this. I am bowing out of my my connections. I am bowing out. Hey, thanks for coming on the show. Let me post a picture of you with cerebral palsy as our thumbnail. my God. I don't know. I don't know what to say. We got sponsors coming into our fucking social media to check out us. So I even had this conversation with them. We have sponsors looking to pay to fucking support our show, right? To keep us on the fucking air, because I don't want to rely on donations all the time, because you guys are literally keeping us afloat. I could show it. It's all right. It's over and done with. He saw the picture anyway. But and I'll do the damage control afterwards. We have sponsors coming to to our social media, and that's the first thing. Hey, let's check out their social media over here. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if we get on board. Oh, okay. This is their guest. Yeah, let me sponsor those guys. Let me sponsor those guys. Oh, God. But it made a good bit. It made a good bit. So, yeah, pal, it's the wrong attention, though, because like I said, we got sponsors coming in, right? So, listen, I'm all for a joke and fucking around, but at the same time, okay, let me put it to you this way. When we have guests on the show, it doesn't really build our audience. That's not what we're doing. We have guests on the show to just provide some sort of, I don't know, depth to what we're doing, right? Maintain connections with these fighters, give you guys the insight, ask the questions that no one else is asking, like do shit like that, and provide more content. Not to chase the fighters away, you know, not to chase them away, but I got to move on. I got to move on from this. This is nonsense. Let's see what else we got here. Let's go to the thing he did do well. He did put news up on over here. So if I win against Tuivasa, I think it's going to be a fight for the interim title against the winner of the next fight for the interim title. So if he wins against Ty, he thinks it's going to be for the interim title. Well, I feel that John Jones, you just lost. I mean, you just lost to the champ. I think John Jones is going to slide in for some. If there's going to be an interim belt, I think John Jones should slide in for something like that, to be honest. So convince Stipe to fight John Jones. That's what I would say. What do you think? Do you think they're going to make this fight for an interim title? I don't know, man. I don't know if they're going to do that. And would you care? I mean, Tai Tuivasa fighting for an interim strap would be great. It really would. That'd be nuts, man. Tai gets a strap, the whole thing. T-Rest in charge of contacting guests. Oh, God. We're going to bring people in from the community, you know, but I guess we got to, it's a bumpy road, man. It's a bumpy road.
Wonderful.
Avalanche won. That's a massive win. Clayton.
Why does Max get a third shot at the title and Colby and Rob don't? People thought Max won the second fight, but people also thought Colby and Rob won their second fight. So why is Max so special? It annoys me.
Interesting. Let me dissect this. Why does Max get a third shot at the title and Colby and Rob don't? Okay, so Colby got 2 shots at the title. And I guess I don't think they were really controversial. One, he got finished, and the second one, I definitely thought Usman did enough. So to get a third shot, I mean, Colby wins one fight, you throw him right back in the mix again because they were both very fun fights. So Colby's got to stay active too. Max not the most active as well, but Max's second fight, like legit. People were burning down the internet saying that Max won. Also, Max is a champion, right? Whereas Colby was an interim champ. Max was actually a legit, like, top-tier champion. I think it's apples and oranges with Colby. Let's see, who else? You talk about Rob. Now, Rob was a legit champ. Didn't really stay very active. And Rob had that fight against Yoel Romero, where a lot of people thought Rob lost, yet he got the decision on it. Now, I thought Rob won that fight, but a lot of people thought Yoel won that fight, and there was some uproar about that. So I think I get it. I kind of get why Max is getting the shot. I do. Do I want to see it? It's not the best thing in the world, but I do understand why Max more.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And he has the hottest wife too, Max, right?
Glove touch, that's so fucking rude, mate. How do you not think it's rude? You're not stupid. You know exactly what you're doing, kid. That's so two-faced. You know you're trolling.
Yeah, I think the mistake he made was put it in the Discord, like horse it around, like, hey, look at this funny picture. Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a mistake, but it's okay. We'll take care of it off there.
Wonderful, wonderful.
If girl always refuses your dates and you post a goofy picture, cool. If some girl finally goes out with you and it was a good date and the first thing you do is post a pic of her looking retarded, you are an idiot.
That's a pretty good analogy right there. I mean, it doesn't... If you can't understand why we're like, what the fuck, just rerun that Tropic Tom donation. That pretty much hits the nail on the head. I mean, it doesn't... You can't explain it any better than that. That's all right. It's all good, man. It adds depth. Listen, it adds depth to the show. When we try to, work from within, it becomes bits on the show. Guam Tom uses logic. All right, let's see what else he's got here. But, the good news, like I said, he did put a couple of stories here on Twitter, so I got to give him, he did listen on that. So he got half the job right. Who knows how fate is? Maybe I'll give 205 a go. I'll get massive and just get in there and throw bombs. He's said things like this before. A lot of things that Rob says anymore, I'm like, whatever. I think he's just saying it for the hell of it. I don't think he really believes he's going to be doing these things. So I can't really take anything from this. I am still a Bobby Knuckles fan. I'm always going to root for this guy, and cannot wait for him to come back. A little disappointed in the fights falling through with the Vittori thing. I was looking forward to that a lot, but it is what it is. Bobby Knuckles, get back in there, bud. We miss you. Bryce Mitchell, anyone above me in October, let's go. Okay, I'm down with that. I'm right next to you. Nobody above you is undefeated. Let's go. Whoa, Mavzar. Okay, hold on. Let me look at the rankings here. Interesting. I tell you what, man. Bryce Mitchell is a G, but he did look beatable in his last fight. Man, imagine Mavzar Evlov versus Bryce Mitchell. That's a good fight. Oof. Bryce's not gonna take that though. He needs to keep moving up. He don't want to look behind him. It's good. It's good stuff. Can Bryce Mitchell be a champ, guys? Can Bryce Mitchell pull it off? Thug Nasty. I want to know in the chat. Did I miss my own funeral? You would love to get yelled at by Jordan Leavitt. No, he wouldn't yell at you. Can he be a champ? What do you think, guys? Can Bryce Mitchell get the job done and collect gold? Can he rise up the rankings and be a champ? Let me know. Yes or no? Simply yes or no. I want to know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Bryce Mitchell. Very good fighter. But can he be a champ? Sitting at 9. Mavzar at number 10. He could beat Giga. Giga's definitely beatable. Arnold Allen. Oof, that's a tough one right there. The Korean Zombie, I think he could beat him. I don't know if he beats Calvin. That'd be a damn good fight. Cater versus Mitchell. Josh Emmett moving up. Wow, 3 spots over here. Damn, man. Yair Rodriguez. Possible. I don't think he beats T-City. Great fight, though. I don't think he beats him. Max Holloway, Volk. Boy, oh boy. I gotta go no, man. I gotta go no. It's just that hill is just so steep. Maybe if things fall in the right situation, someone gets hurt, he slips in on a big fight, number 1 contender, gets the right champ at the wrong time for the champion. Holloway and Volk beat him. Yeah, I would think that would be the case. I mean, Holloway would use his face as a punching bag. Bobby Knuckles versus Alex Pereira. Oh, boy. Alex Pereira versus Bobby Knuckles. But, my God, that'd be nuts. The top is too huge, says John Guy. He might stop at number 4. Yeah, I mean, he needs things to happen. Injuries. He needs to, take a fight on short notice or some shit. I don't know, man. I don't think he could be a champ. I really don't. He would be fun, though, if he was a champ because he's wild with his words. You know, the UFC already likes him. They throw the camo on the gear and stuff like that, you know. Got the America thing going. Only got one blemish on his record. It's not like he's not a likable guy. I think he's a likable guy. May not come across as the most, you know, brilliant human being, but still, very likable guy. Easy guy to root for. Good run, though. Really good run by Bryce. How old is he now? Bryce Mitchell. Look him up. Thug Nasty. 15. Wait, what's going on here? Why did they give him a loss on here? The fuck? Well, how did that work? And then Tapology's got him at no loss. What am I missing? He's only 27. Damn. He's only 27 years old. Still very young. Considering how high he is on the rankings. No, you know what? Saying no would be kind of doing him a disservice here. Being only 27 years old and being this high up, you know, he still has some growing to do, and he's still pretty high in the rankings. I guess you can't count him out. You can't count him out. You got to give him some respect. The real question is, how did Emaja jump 3 spots? Yeah, I don't know. It's like the UFC just kind of, I don't know. On a fight where some people thought he lost, a lot of people thought he lost. He passes Arnold Allen, Korean Zombie, Calvin Kattar, and now is top 4. Damn. 1 fight away. Yeah, 1 fight away. He gets another dub. He's fighting for a belt, Josh Emmett. It's interesting. Who knows, man? It's crazy. These rankings are wild. Josh Emmett be fighting for a belt. Nuts. Him versus Ortega might be interesting. That would be an interesting fight. Like right now, I would go Ortega all day. And I'm not even the biggest Ortega fan. I'd be rooting for Bryce. Bryce will only get better. Yeah, at 27 years old, you know, with a strong grappling background, I mean, he can only get better, is right. Thug Nasty and Thug Rose would have look better than Rose and Pat. Both love farming life. Yeah, that would be a match made in heaven right there. Well, I want to thank everyone for jumping in. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Appreciate your company tonight. And a big shout out to the donators tonight. Round of applause. You can get the brand new Carnage shirts that dropped. It's in the carousel down below, or go over to the MMA-Holes.com if you'd like that. There's a link in the description down below where we can, what's it called? Where you can watch the UFC fights this weekend. Friday is Bellator, PFL, bare knuckle. I mean, there's so much shit going on Friday. We're going to make an executive decision on what we're going to actually do our main focus. I think it's going to be Bellator because of Gegard, but we'll see. We'll see how that works. So we'll be watching that on Friday with Fuqua Friday. We solidified RoboCop, baby. RoboCop coming on the show. Let's go. No retarded thumbnails, please. But yeah, so we got RoboCop coming on. Daniel Rodriguez. Barack Obama lookalike. Gregory Rodriguez, excuse me, not Daniel Rodriguez. Gregory Rodriguez. So shout out to Gregory Rodriguez. He's coming on in 2 weeks, and he had a fucking incredible knockout. This guy over here may look a little older. He's only 30 years of age. This guy is nasty. Defeated Julian Marquez. He's a scary human being, and he's nice enough to come on in 2 weeks. So shout out to Gregory Rodriguez. Looking forward to interviewing him. Yeah, RoboCop. And what else did I want to say? There was something else I wanted to talk about. I can't remember what the fuck. So anyway, we got some guests. Every Wednesday, we look to get some more guests on each and every week. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. Let me see if there's any more news that I missed. Nope, that's it for the news. All right, so let me know in the comments section if you're rewatching the stream or you want to talk about Jordan Leavitt. How's he going to win? Let me know in the comments. He says he's going to finish Paddy in the 3rd round. Jordan Leavitt, final round, because it's a 3-round fight. He's going to take out Paddy Pimblett. Let me know in the chat down below what you think. If you want to talk about Diaz versus Jake Paul, if you want to talk about Tsarukyan versus Gamrot, or any of the other stories, down below in the comment section, yap away, hit the like button, and don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA hole.